Hello. So, you may notice I now have a YouTuber mic. Isn't that exciting? So, doing my usual boring tea ritual with incense, except I'm actually talking this time because I have good audio, or at least not potato audio. That's pretty important in this day and age. People say that they can tolerate bad video, but they can't tolerate bad audio. And I think they're right because it's kind of annoying. Especially when you're switching between videos and you just can't hear nothing in a video and you have to turn up your volume and then you have to turn it down. A lot of my videos before are kind of like that, and maybe even some of the current ones, but I'm working on it. You may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Let the days go by. You may ask yourself, why do you light incense and then pour tea? Isn't that kind of annoying to have the smoke in your face? Perhaps. But you know, we ball. I kind of like it. The incense, if I'm careful, it doesn't really get into the tea, but it does provide a little extra measure of aroma. And it's kind of nice. I don't know. I like it. Adds a little ritual to the day, and I can set my intentions. My intentions are to get some progress done on my comic that I'm working on. I have always kind of made my own work and got really into zines, self-publishing zines, but I really want to take the next step and try publishing a book. And so that's what I'm doing. I've written most of an outline and still adding to it. And I'm also working on the script as well. Practicing what the final art will look like, because I'm using a dip pen, and that dip pen is not the pen itself, but I am rusty. A little rusty because it's been a while since I regularly used dip pen. I used to do so a lot more in high school, and maybe a little bit into college, but high school was my peak era of using dip pen and ink. So I need to get back into that. I've been doing a little bit of ink wash work as well, just like little doodles here and there, nothing crazy, but getting back into the swing of things, and it's kind of nice. I don't know. So that's on my agenda. I have work later today, although it's a very short shift, so it's not going to be crazy. And then I have work after that, like tomorrow, and then I'm off for Thanksgiving, where I'm going to go to my family's place with my man. It's going to be his first time meeting my extended family, so that's exciting. I don't want to make you listen to my tea drinking, or maybe I do. Here, let's look. Yeah, real cute. Real cute, man. That's real cute. No. It's nice to stand here and kind of meditate for a little second and just let the smoke pass by. It's really nice, I don't know. Kind of provides some quiet contemplation, I say, as I'm speaking out loud into a microphone. Yeah, okay, that's enough footage. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very tired. I'm so tired. That's my fault. I was up last night working on my script. Not only am I a night owl, I'm also a morning lark. So it's kind of troublesome when I want to do both. You can't have both, is the thing. Don't let them tell you that you can be a girl who stays up late or gets up early, gets up early. I want a girl who stays up late. You can't be both. I want to be a girl who does both. Unfortunately, I'm not. I do one or the other, and I only took my Vyvanse at lunch just now, so it's not going to kick in until 4 hours later when I'm at work, which is probably societally the best time for it to kick in, but also I want it to kick in when I'm working on my personal work. God dang it. I want it to kick in when I'm like about to work on something I give a rat's caboose about. You may notice I'm being accompanied by my little friend here, the mysterious Hen Hen. He's cute. Do you like him? He's my darling. Say hello, Hen Hen. He's so darling. He's, my boyfriend gave me him for Christmas last year, I think. Last year. Oh my god, it's been so long already. And that's basically a little him so that I can have him. And he's the most darling thing in the world. Time to stop being gay. I think if it's not abundantly clear by my work, I am of the queerness. If you're wondering if I'm just slinging out gay like it's 2010 or if I'm actually of the queerness, I am of the queerness. I guess if I had to be transparent, because I don't feel like it's necessary to make announcements, but I am of the bisexuality and I am of the non-binary, gender fluidity. So basically my sexuality is like, if you date me, you are gay. Doesn't really matter, you are gay now. If you are a woman, if you are a man, if you are transgender in any direction whatsoever, you are gay now. So I don't make the rules, you just, it's like the cheese touch or something, except you can't, no takebacks. No takebacks. And you can't give it to anybody else. Actually, you can, because once you are gay and then you infect another person with the gay, they are gay now. I have a PhD in gay. It's exactly how it works. So, without further ado, I wanted to see if I can, oh my god, I'm so tired. I wanted to see if I could do some doodles or sketches or whatever to get my hands moving, because brain is not braining quite yet enough to write. I did write last night because I was like, up so late going like, oh, I have the ideas, I have the flow going, and now I'm like, oh, can't even stay awake. But I don't even want to stay awake, but I must, because I can't sleep all day. So, these are some of the tests I've done for comic pages. This is like a really small panel, so it's really fitting stuff in there. I'm using my typewriter for dialogue, so this is not really gonna fit in there, but it's just for the idea of it. So don't take it too seriously. So these are tests. If a quiz is a quizzical, then tell me, soldier, what is a test? Yeah. Not gonna waste your time any further, but let's like zoom in a little bit. There is that first panel. That's a really sharp gun and hand. I kind of messed up and I realized, and so I just kind of decided to focus on not that part and just focus on like leaving these guys black and white. I would probably hatch them a little more. But then there's that, there's one, a bet, my Martian commander guy, so cute, I love him, with some ink wash over him. I did like ink wash first, and then I drew lines over it, and then I added some more highlight and shadow. And then here's another similar case where I had Patience here. He is a Saturnian, and so he is over an ink wash as well. I gotta be careful with this because if I make a mistake, I can't exactly white it out. That's dangerous. I have to keep that in mind now that I'm doing ink wash. No mistakes or else you hecking freaking die. Another one, except I was trying to make it like in shadow here with backlighting. Didn't really work out the way I was planning for it to look, but you know, it's okay. It's fine. Yes, so I wanna, oh, I forgot I did this last night. I did an area of just plain black so that I could perhaps go over it with some white. Do I want to go over it with White Optimist ink, which is like a shellac ink that I have to shake, or this other white ink that I have that I also have to shake? I might go with this, question mark. It's good white ink. I don't recommend buying from Stuart Semple. He's a fucking weird guy. Sorry. He's an artist. Same difference. I just don't recommend buying from him as a consumer, just because the turnaround time for actually receiving the order is really bleak. Like, for one, his products are not only expensive under the guise of being for everybody, but also it takes forever for them to get there to you. Like, I don't know, he's always just had delays and like, oh, I'm so sorry, we don't have enough staff to, and it's like, I get it, I do. But I wanted this when I impulsively bought it, not 5 months later, a year later almost. You know, it's just kind of like, come on, man. I'm realizing it's sprinkling dried ink all over the place to shake it over the paper got. But yeah, I'm just going to shake this real good, real deliciously shake it. And then, I don't know what to draw over this. Maybe I will draw, I don't know. I feel like I need to draw Flip and Patience more because one is very easy to draw because he's so handsome, that I like looking at him. And then Phony, I kind of have in the bag because I've been technically drawing him for years. Phony Holmes, the human earthling, because he actually began as a self-insert. Self-insert so that I could romance Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes. And I'm not kidding. Go watch my other videos and look at how much Marvin bullshit is in my room. I can even show you right now my Marvin the Martian letter opener that my bestest buddy Moss gifted me. It's not super sharp, but it'll open letters. Do the ghost face wipe. I love Marvin the Martian. He's my favorite. I even put all my, some of my inking supplies in a little tin of him because I love him. He's my guy. So, let's see. Let's not waste much more time. So let's like freestyle something. I'm thinking I want to do Patience and Flip. Just because those two characters, I kind of pair them off together quite a bit, like Shaggy and Scooby, almost. Real talk, why is Velma off on her own? That's not fair. Come on, man. So let's see. I'm gonna start with Patience here. I'm like, do I want to like work with negative space here a little bit? Ooh, it's not working as smoothly as I was hoping. Oh, Lord. It's not as smooth as I was hoping, but it's better than nothing. Oh, oh, Lord, F word. Oh, Lord. This is already a hot mess, which means I'm just gonna work with it best I can. I really was expecting this to... Is it the ink? Like, what's wrong with the ink? Why is it so thickums? Is it always supposed to be thick like this? Help. Help, dude. It's not supposed to be that thickums. Is it? It might just be part of the reason why it's not really cooperating is because... Ooh, there's a big blob. Is because I am using it on top of a layer of ink and it's already kind of like primed the paper to be absorbed. This looks like, I want to say Pure Duty Ass Cheeks. Sorry, what's a better term that's not like, vulgar? This looks like, sorry, I can't think of anything better than Pure Duty Ass Cheeks. That's kind of what it is so far, but I'm working with it. Or at least I am sticking through. You know what? I want to see how the other ink does. So this here is the Federal Colors Optimist Opaque White. I'm gonna put it into one of these little paint cups that I got. Just got them online, really cheap, in bulk. And I have more than I'll need in like forever, so I don't have to buy them ever again, probably. But let's just squeeze a whole ton of this in here into this little thing and use it. And I would squeeze out less if I could, but I need to squeeze enough to like submerge the nib, or else I'll get really mad and go crazy. So there's the ink. And let's see how it fares in comparison. This ink is a lot thinner. And, oh yeah. Ooh, the flow is already so much nicer. I like this a lot more. It's not as thick, which depending on what you're doing can be good, but for what I'm doing, the thickness was kind of hindering the flow of the ink. I gotta like plan his tentacle out a little bit better. He doesn't have hands, he has tentacles that he uses to hold stuff with. So I'm drawing him holding like a flashlight, Scooby-Doo style, in the dark. Maybe I'll like, yeah, fill this in with white. So there's Patience. I should tell you about Patience. So Patience is a Saturnian, so he's from Saturn. Saturn's people are cyborgs, so they long ago had built robotic shells for their soft, delicate meat bodies. So underneath this metallic shell is a soft, mushy core. To Patience, he is still a biological being underneath, but I think the main feature of the Saturnians is that they mostly have augmented brains with like super processing computers, and so he has 3 additional brains as well as his biological brain. There's this ring around his face or his eye that is a computer as well. And then you see those two rings right here underneath his shell. Those are also computers. So he has studied a lot of like sciencey things his whole life. Like he's got degrees in what did I say that he had degrees in? Some smart people stuff. Like bioengineering, he's got psychology in all sorts of different species, so they call that the pan-species psychology, when you look at the psychology of the different like solar system aliens and stuff. I've been trying not to call them aliens as much because it's like they're not aliens to each other anymore now that the Solar Alliance is a thing and they're all familiar with each other. So basically the premise of my story, or like at least the setting of it, is that we're in the future in the year 2095, and all planets of the solar system have intelligent life of their own, like native to them. So let's say the Venusians are from Venus. They are like these heart-shaped people. Same with the Martians. They are also heart-shaped in different ways. And then, you know, everybody has their own species. Even Earth has more than one species now. They have the Novelings and the humans. The Novelings are basically furries, but furry is an antiquated term, or just a term for like when you're actually referring to like furries, not the people themselves. That would just be like uneducated to say that, to be honest. In their world. In our world, it's a little different because that isn't real. But yeah, I'm drawing right now my guy Flip Flop, or just Flip. Flop is his last name. Please, Flop was my father. He's from Jupiter. So the thing about Jupiter is that their people process thought with their brains very quickly and very strong, like super powerfully. So it's like almost too overwhelming for them, and takes a lot of like energy that kind of just it really fries their brain a little bit to do it, which is a bit of a design flaw of the species, but they overcame this by creating energy dampening devices that they wear on their heads. In this case, he's wearing a headband. It's very compact, and also shows off his cute little hairdo that I wanted to keep. I was very not willing to budge on the hairdo. The like little buzz cut, I thought it was just so cute. I was like, he needs the buzz cut. I'm gonna find a way for it to stay, and I did. That's the thing about writing, is that if you want something to happen, you're gonna make it happen, by God. But so they have these energy dampening head devices or headgear, and it helps them to sap some of that electricity from their brain into everyday use, so they can use their own biological power that way. And so most of this dampening will kind of sap the thought processing from the Jupiterian. And so they kind of go a little, They go a little stupid. Give me the sauce that makes you stupid. You know what I mean? They kind of go a little stupid. And that's why they are the common people, the plebs. They usually call them stupidus Jupidus. You go to Jupiter to get more stupider, right? And so those who are actually like in STEM careers, like Flip is, they are what we call the Jupiter computers. So they're not really like electronic the same way that the Saturnians are, but they are very much into like hyper intelligent savants who are very suited to high stress careers. And so they work as computers, like computer guys, IT, and programming and all sorts of things like that, to sort of work as a big like computer unit. They're like little parts of a chipboard or something, or like computer chipboard. And so he kind of did not like his job. Like, he's suited for it. That's kind of what he was assigned to do. I don't know the full details of the Jupiterian government, but I'm sure that, you know, there was some sort of test that he had to pass, and then he did, and so that's how he got assigned into his job, yada yada. And he hates it, but he's good at it, but he's decided to quiet quit by kind of just not doing his job as effectively. And so they kind of got tired of him. They're like, listen, we can't fire this guy. He's got like tenure. He's got job security. And also, I don't think firing is part of their like culture so much, because it's so like your job is assigned. It's kind of like, I don't know, in Japanese culture, if they want to get rid of you, they assign you less work until you're useless and you kind of give up. Except he's not giving up. He's like hanging in there for God knows how long, even though he doesn't want to. And so they're like, okay, we got to do something. And so for Flip, they kind of fired and hired him from his job to be an astronaut. And he said, hallelujah, yes. It was like a nice welcome change of pace for him, even though I'm going to like share some details about my story here. He's from a story within this setting called Solar Placidus, where, you know, there's the Solar Alliance and such. He's basically being sent on, and the title is A Fool's Errand. They don't want him. So they're going to send him to the most dangerous friggin' planet of Pluto. So Pluto has not had any word from anybody, or like nobody's heard from Pluto in forever. And the last time they tried contacting Pluto and landing on Pluto or getting into its orbit, they shot him out of airspace. Pluto was serious. Like, they were not even going to space travel, but they did have a space laser in case anybody tried to get there. That's a big deal. I think it is a big deal. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not accepting visitors, but you will shoot them out of the air with your big shotgun, that's crazy work. That is crazy work. So for everybody else except for Wannabet, my Martian, they think of the trip as something exciting. Phony sees it as a new mission or opportunity. Patience sees it as a way to study his lifelong work, which is Pluto. He's been studying Pluto forever. And to actually be able to touch down on the surface of Pluto is like crazy and unheard of for him. And so for Flip, like I mentioned, this was a chance for him to escape his mundane, humdrum life. And then for One, unfortunately, he was assigned this job as a punishment for a failed past career, or not career, past mission, in which he was supposed to lead a team, and he made a grave mistake. And so, yeah, One is the only one who's really aware of like this, how bad this is, and he's not about to burst everybody else's bubble. Either because they should figure it out on their own, or because he just doesn't have the heart, or what. He definitely doesn't need to be leading a crew who knows they're gonna die. So that's just, in my mind, probably what he's thinking and how he's going about it. This is really messy, by the way. The white is super messy, but I am going to go over it with black again to kind of clean it up and tighten it up. Because I don't like how the ink laid down so much. I might have to think of that next time when I'm laying down black and white. Maybe I should actually try something else. Like, do I have like a Sharpie, like a big Sharpie somewhere? I know I do. I don't recommend using a big Sharpie for comic work, just because it's not acid free, and also it's gonna get expensive. If you're gonna have to buy a Sharpie every time you run out of ink, of black ink, that's gonna be so expensive. This is not, oh baby girl. Maybe instead of the Sharpie, I'll just use my Ohuhu marker. Yeah, that's better. I don't recommend using alcohol marker for comic work, even though that's what I was planning to do. I was planning to do sketches in like a really light color and then go over it with black and white and then scan as black and white scale. Not like grayscale, not to be confused, but just black and white, so you don't get any in-between colors. I was planning to do that, but then I was like, you know what? I don't want to fill in large areas with hatching. I don't want to do that. I tried using a colored pencil to shade it in so that it can like give a grainy effect, but I didn't like it so much. So I am actually just gonna use ink. And then this is not going to be colored in super goodly. I'm just going to call it good enough at a point, but I just want it filled in so that I can, sort of just do my black and white here and see how that fares against this. This is the Optimus black ink. Yeah, so I'm going to wait for this to wait for it to dry a little bit more. Might take a little while, but I guess I can like start here with this like black and white here and see how that goes. I'm gonna let the alcohol dry just a little bit, but yeah, One is the only one who knows that it's punishment, really, and he's not thrilled. And you know, at first it's a very discordant crew. The reason why I want to showcase Patience and Flip a little bit more is because when One and Phony are on the spotlight, so to speak, they are very dominant personalities. They kind of take over the airwaves, so to speak. And so these two kind of fall to the wayside. And so I want them to have more moments when they are together and they can actually let each other shine, and to just get to be characters, I don't know, that have purpose. I think all too often you see people who want to write characters, but they are writing OCs. They're not writing characters, they're writing OCs. And I don't know how to describe the distinguishing factor. Actually, I can probably definitely describe it. So an OC is beloved to you. You kind of make them as like, oh, this is my original character. Anyway, an OC is kind of beloved in a way. And, you know, that's your darling, which people are going to tell you have to kill. But that's your darling, and you want to make them prominent and showcase them and be like, here I are, or whatever, like the Disney Wish thing. Here I are. But the fact is, people are not always writers, and sometimes original characters are not well written. They may be like very dear, but they're not well written always. Or maybe they're overwritten and they kind of dominate the stage or the page with their backstory, their everything they care about, and it's just like, well, okay, this is not progressing the plot forward. Maybe we are even focusing on the writer's barely concealed fetish instead of actually moving the plot along. You can use the fetish to move the plot along. But if you're just like inflicting damage for the sake of stroking it, like stroking your own desire to see it without it meaning anything to the plot or being necessary, then you're kind of wasting the reader or the viewer's time. I'm very much thinking of certain people right now, and it's or a certain person who is known for writing characters that are not good, but people love the media. I ain't gonna name names, but if you know, you know. Ooh, come on. Flow, baby, flow. I will say it is flowing a lot nicer on the alcohol marker, which makes me wonder, do I just need to get like black cardstock or something? Which I do actually have, I could use, and see how it fares with the with the white ink. But I don't know how often I'll be doing a scene like this where it's like totally black and, you know, just using this darkness. I don't know if it's a me problem or like what's going on, but it's so thick and so like viscous. I could thin it out with the colorless medium that they provided in the set that I got this from, but then it would kind of thin out the white, and I don't really want that either. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to really think if I want to do scenes like this, because it's frustrating. And I don't even know if I can make it look good. Yeah, I'm trying so hard. And it's difficult. Trust me, it's difficult. Oh my god. I don't think this is worth it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be a real $1.50 with you, unless that cardstock is working real miracles for me. I don't think this is really gonna replace working on black on white. It's really hard. And it's really not wanting to do what I want it to. Okay, so we're back to... I think this is dry enough now that I can go over it with the black ink. I'm using Rapidograph dye-based Black India ink. I don't know what the pigment-based is like, but I'm using dye-based because it's like non-clogging, so it's really nice and thin, and it still coats, though I don't know about that. It coats the nib really nice, but it also doesn't like, it's not so thick, you know, that it's gonna give me issues. Like, you've been seeing me have issues with how thick that white paint is and just not wanting to flow, but I think this ink has a good flow to it. Oh, I don't like how it's flowing into the white though. Oh, cool, there's a... So you guys are watching me struggle bus for this one. This is not my finest work. This is experimental. Yeah, we're gonna call it that. We're gonna call it experimental. Yeah, it's just kind of like carving out what I overdrew, essentially, at this stage. Which is quite a lot, to be honest. It blobbed in a lot of areas that I didn't want it to. Is this dry yet? I think this is. This down here is dry enough for me to work with. It's a little rough and bumpy, so it's not like quite as smooth. Ooh, that's a little thicker than I wanted. Okay. Not really ideal, but okay. Struggle busing. Oh no. Oh baby girl, no. This is like quite awful. I was hoping these would turn out better. You know, so I know it's like sometimes it's part of the process and not just the end result for art, but this was intentionally done so that I could have an end result. I don't always do that. I don't always make art because I want to have a product that looks good. But this time I did. And this time it's not what I was hoping. So this is how that turned out. Those black and white areas. This is with the, let me cover that little smudge up. I'm sure that was bothering nobody. This is with the Optimist inks for the background. And then this is with a permanent marker for the background. I do like the intensity of the black here, but it was so hard to work on, like so much harder for some reason than just using it over like a smooth already like absorbed in piece of, because like with the Optimist ink, the ink kind of not only absorbs but also sits on top, so it kind of creates a porous layer. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's like when you lay down tempera paint and then you put watercolor over it or whatever, and it just kind of like starts bleeding all over the place. That's kind of the effect that has happened, not the desired effect. Hi. Why am I showing you cleaning my bathroom? I guess it's because I am bad at doing chores consistently. And I need to find ways to hold me accountable. I was having a conversation with my friend this morning, actually, and we were talking about like the hurdles that people go through to do chores, and especially like, we can kind of say that, blah blah blah, I have ADHD, so everything is hard, but at the end of the day, there's other reasons. You can't just say ADHD. I would love to. I would absolutely love to just be like, oh, god damn it, I just fell off my bike and hit my knee. ADHD. But I can't do that, because that's not accurate. And I'm realizing the mic was never on. Dang it, God. F. First, I forget to turn on the mic. Then I forget to turn on the camera. You know that thing I said about not being able to blame ADHD for everything? I might be taking it back. God. Dang it. Well, I took off my watch so that I can wash my face without getting water all over it. And look at it. My buddy Maya got me this for my birthday, and I love it. I've been wearing it to work, and I love it. So I'm just gonna tuck this away in my pocket and clean my goddamn face. Funny. That's so dumb.